Hey folks, it's a beautiful day. Some storm clouds on the horizon, but that's why I am where I am, I guess. Because the vote starts on Monday, it doesn't give me a lot of time to get into the technical details of the contract. I started trying to do that, but I don't think it's going to manage. I don't think it's going to happen, so I'm going to have to go do a quicker version of it. It's going to be a little dirtier, but you're just going to have to believe me, or you're going to read the 700-page document yourself. So, Group 2, it's just a mess. Dynamic routing, they want to bring it to 10 facilities across the country immediately, and then the next contract, they want to roll it out. Well, guess what? It's only 2 years to the next contract, so it's basically coming to you. It'll probably take them 2 years to get this stuff set up. They don't have the technology, the ability, or the technical skills to make this happen, but they want it to happen anyway. You will lose pretty much everything. Your seniority rights, gone. Most of us work at about the same time anyway, and you're just going to bid on a section of the city. So you'll be still worrying about when you're going to work. No, it won't matter. You're going to get 8 hours a day. In a section, your day is going to change every day. Your supervisor, who's never done the job, doesn't understand it, is going to be the one deciding how much work you get. And it's not going to be pretty. Flex workers Monday to Friday, they will be there to take up the slack in the dynamic delivery and also take up the slack in our relief pool. We're going to lose a quarter of our relief pool in the first year. I guarantee it. Just gone. Full-time jobs, gone. Just trashed first year. Those people will probably be offered jobs in that exact position, flex relief. And that's no good either. The weekend delivery is a total shit show. They want people to come in Saturday and Sunday and work up to 15 hours guaranteed to deliver parcels on the weekend. But they also want to have the ability to use them to do group 1 work. So what I see happening is, because they want to create parcel hubs, so a separate building, like we just closed our hub downtown for the MSCs. And then they're probably going to stage trailers at it. And they're going to have them unload the trailers, which is group 1 work, have them sort them to different parts of the city, which is group 1 work, then have them sort them to the routes, which is group 2 work, and then deliver them. Also, in any parcel coming from outside of the province, the commitment changes, and the commitment can be up to 8-10 days. So I suspect they'll just be staging parcels, so you'll never get them on your routes. They will never count to your values. More full-time jobs gone. So we're just going to be losing jobs. We're going to be bleeding them, hemorrhaging them over the next couple of years. And then in the next contract, they want to get rid of job security, but that's neither here nor there. There's a bunch of other details in the contract that they talk about, but most of the good things come from the labor code. The leave for Indigenous practices, labor code. Leave for those who are abused by their partners, that's in the labor code. The changes they want to make to short-term disability, that's really simple. In theory, it would be better for us to go with this new system, less costly for the union and the employer, but that's assuming that it actually passes the test. So it entirely hinges upon their ability to convince an overarching body that this is the way they want to do things. And that, I don't know how likely that is. And if it just fails, we just go back to the old system. So you're not saving anybody any money or any time. So that's entirely up to someone else if that actually comes to pass. There are so many details in this contract that I can't begin. But here's one I want you to think about. There are several national policy grievances in our system right now. Some of them worth tens of millions of dollars. And by voting yes to this agreement, you will wipe the slate clean of all of your grievances. We have made the objection that the grievances are not owned by the members, but are in fact owned by the union. But the CIRB doesn't see it that way, apparently, even though this has been something that's been upheld for years in arbitration. So so here's just one of them. So we currently have a grievance in, national policy grievance, because of the 10 sick days given to us by the Federal Labor Code. Canada Post has only been giving us 6. When initially these 10 sick days were given, Canada Post asked for an exception to the rule, and it was denied. But they continue to just give us only 6. So we have a national policy grievance in for that. So if you wipe the slate clean by voting yes, you're going to lose 4 sick days. Okay, well, what does that mean? Well, 4 sick days is about $1,000. How much is your signing bonus again? It's $1,000. So if you vote yes to this, you're going to get your $1,000, and they're going to take it out of the other pocket. It's just gone. But it's not just $1,000. It's $1,000 a year forever, right? So that's what you're going to pay for. Other grievances we have include staffing issues with for relief using the bar charts. Some of you may know what that means. It's how we determine how many relief we need and why you're doing 2 days of mail instead of having a relief carrier. So we have grievances in about that. We have grievances in about SSD, including our judicial review of the SSD claim, or the SSD grievance apparently we lost, and several others. And those will just go away. And part of the deal is that we won't be able to grieve anything like that ever again. So be really, really thoughtful about how you decide this. Be very careful about what you vote. And the reality is you should vote no. You vote no for so many reasons. And to vote yes, anybody I've ever talked to, it's just about being afraid. They're afraid that their jobs are going to go up. Well, guess what? Your jobs are going to go up if you vote yes. If you vote no, then guess what? The Canada Post Act of Canada, the Canada Post Corporation Act, says that mail is delivered Monday to Friday. And they haven't made any moves to change that yet. That might come, but let me know when it does. Because right now, your jobs are already guaranteed by law. Now, people say that they're concerned about the revenue the corporation has. Well, until they started throwing our customers away and literally telling them to go somewhere, our revenue was just fine. The issue is that spending from savings on corporate capital investments is the problem. The fact that Doug Ettinger spent $3 billion of our savings and declared it a loss and then was rehired by the federal government to maintain his job and get a 20% raise that he doesn't want to give you, and then got a bonus on top of that, while losing more money until driving our finances into the ground, still claiming as a loss, while our revenue was fine. That's a disaster. That's the government and the corporation colluding to break our union, to destroy working people. You see it every day with Patty Hadju, how she'll come out of one side of her mouth and say, anti-scab legislation is a great thing. Well, of course it is. You're never going to let anybody strike anyway. And then you're going to talk about how unions are the best place to train people for the jobs coming forward in Canada, but apparently not yours, right? So let's just pick this fight. We've already been in it for 18 months. Why back out now? We can't do that. That's just cowardly. Like, oh, I want to take my $1,000. Well, that was probably a little rude. But seriously, you're not going to get $1,000. You're going to lose $10,000. This contract, you're going to ruin it. There's going to be no overtime for you ever, because that's all going to go to flex people. So no overtime, no double overtime at Christmas. That's gone. Kiss it goodbye. And also, those weekend workers, there's no restrictions on them working. They can work during the week. They can work hours. And guess what? They're part-time. They get first opportunity before regular carriers do these days, especially in the new language. And the route measurement system, the system that decides that you're only going to do a 6-hour day because of the amount of work you're doing, it's going to be gone. And I mean that because in the new systems, they'll get to change whatever they want without significant effort. Just go away. It'll just be gone. So you really need to think about what you're voting for. And the only answer is no. Have a good night. We can win this. It's just going to take a little solidarity, a little courage, a little bit of bravery. So vote brave. Vote with solidarity. If you're leaving anyway and you're retiring, vote no, just to save everybody a lot of pain. Right? The sun's on the horizon. It's coming out. It's going to get better.